Hi and welcome to Ida Books. I am Ida and these are my books. Today I will be doing the Midyear book freakout tag. So I have not planned ahead what my answers are. Question number 1. Best book you've read so far in 2019. Scythe is definitely one of my favorites by Neal Shusterman. Neal Shusterman's been one of my favorite authors for many years. And I got this book for Christmas and I finally read it in February. And it is amazing. I've also read a sequel, it is equally amazing and I love it so much. I also really liked Of Fire and Stars by Audrey Coulthurst. I don't have the physical book because I listened to the audiobook, but that is also one of my favorites from this year. Question number 2. Which is the best sequel you've read this year? And since I just mentioned it, Thunderhead by Neal Shusterman. It is amazing. I love it. Can't wait for the 3rd book. Another favorite sequel and also favorite book, because I read both first and second book, is Röta by Siri Pettersen. I read the first book also in like January and I read the second one in like May, and I really enjoyed this series. It is Norwegian fantasy and I love it. Question number 3. A new release that you haven't read but you want to. I'm so not up to date with what new releases are out. What's it called? I have to check. So I want to read Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston, which is a really popular book on BookTube so far and I think it sounds really good. I also want to read Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson, which was published like a few days ago, but it sounds really good as well. And the last one I was thinking about, Once and Future by Amy Rose Carpetta and Cori McCarthy. I also want to read. Yeah, so I'm very excited about those. I want to get my hands on them as soon as possible. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year? Well, The Toll by Neal Shusterman. I'm so excited to finish the series because I love it so much. The, I believe, 10th book in this series, the Alex Verus series by Benedict Jacka, is coming out this autumn. I'm very excited about that as well because this is a really good series. Other than that, I'm not really that knowledgeable about new releases. So I think that's it. Biggest disappointment. Biggest disappointment is Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. This is a book I got for my sister for Christmas and I've heard a lot of good things about Neil Gaiman. I really like Coraline. I like the movie Stardust. The book is good but not as good as the movie. But I read this and it was awful, honestly, and I was really upset that I didn't like it. Biggest surprise I think would be... biggest surprise I would say is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn and Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Not because it wasn't a hyped book, people were saying it was really good, but I don't really read contemporary, and it's a contemporary. I don't really like unlikable main characters, and Evelyn is an unlikable main character, and so there was a lot of things going against it for me, but I think it was really good. Favorite new author is, I think, Audrey Coulthurst, like I mentioned earlier, author of Fire and Stars. Also Siri Pettersen, who wrote Odinsbarn and Röta. Newest fictional crush. I haven't really crushed in that way on any fictional characters this year. My favorite character of the year is Scythe Faraday from Scythe, because he's amazing and I love him. He is just such a good person and I think I need more of that character. Book that made you cry. Few books have made me actually cry this year, because when I listen to audiobooks at work I try to not cry at work. But a lot of books have almost made me cry. They both die at the end. Almost made me cry. I actually had to pause the audiobook and then continue listening to like the last 15 minutes on the way to the bus instead of at work, because I knew if I just continued I would start crying. So that is one. The Hunger Games almost made me cry, like at the very beginning of the book, because it's so tragic. But I didn't, because I read that one at work as well. Book that made you happy. I haven't read that many, I think, like light-hearted fun books. George by Alex Gino made me happy. Eve of Man by Giovanna and Tom Fletcher made me very happy. Not because the story is happy, because it's really not, but because Tom Fletcher from McFly is like one of my favorite people in the world, and he wrote a sci-fi and it's amazing and I love it. It's on my favorite shelf now. It is beautiful. And so that one made me very happy, just because I was afraid of it being a bad book. because, well, he's a musician and not a writer, but he also writes a lot of music, and yeah, whatever. I was very happy. It was a very good book because I love him and I love the book. Most beautiful book you've bought so far this year or received. This is a very beautiful book. Look at it. It's all gold and white, and I'm actually gonna take off the dust jacket because look at that, it's like a labyrinth and it's beautiful and I love it. And yeah, that's one of my favorites. I really like this one because it's like all matte and grey and I like touching it. I really like this one. This is a beautiful cover. It's like purple and gold, and also one of my favorite books. It doesn't match these books, so it can't be on my favorite shelf, but it is one of my favorites, and I think it's beautiful. So what books do you need to read by the end of the year? And well, all of them. But let's see, I want to finish the Hunger Games series. I have Mockingjay left of those. I want to read more of my Sherlock stories. I want to read Truth Witch. I want to read Arch Enemies. I want to finish Sagan om ringen, Lord of the Rings. I want to finish. My partner and I are reading it together, and we've gotten like... We have read 122 pages in maybe 3 months, 4 months. So we're working our way very slowly through this chunky book. But yeah, maybe we're gonna try to read some more of it this summer, hopefully. So yeah, this is also a series I want to get to this year. I want to read Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. I got that one from my sister. I want to read more Neal Shusterman because he's awesome. There's a lot of books I want to get to. I want to read more manga as well. Yeah, I just want to read everything. So that is that question. That was the Midyear book freakout tag. I'm sure everyone's done it already, so I'm not gonna tag anyone. It was fun. I had fun. I hope you liked it. If you like this video, please subscribe. I upload on Saturdays and sometimes Thursdays. And when you're watching this, I am actually traveling, and I will be making a travel vlog for that, so look forward to that video. And yeah, I will see you next week. Bye!